Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. I tried full screen mode just a few seconds ago, and recording wise, doing full screen, it still has a kind of square space where it, like, part of the screen would be blank because, I don't know. Also couldn't actually disable those scenes, so I'm just gonna leave it on. We'll just edit it out when it comes to it. Because I think they have some plot relevance in one or two of them. You know, in that typical kind of fashion where it leads up to it, so I'm not sure if disabling it would actually get rid of that. Language selection. Just English. Interruption. But yeah, I downloaded this ages ago, so I'm not sure. Maybe they've updated it for all I know, because they haven't, like... I think I've heard that, like, the demo version had, like, in multiple languages, but not sure if they've translated the full version to all the languages. But yeah, now the screen has this. This is what I was talking about in the first part, was, like, these kind of images show up when you clear things and all that. But, somewhat of relevance to what I'm going to be rambling on about for the next god knows how many minutes. Maybe, because now that I'm actually recording it, I'm tempted to just say, oh, screw it, and just, like, start already. Because, you know, in the previous part when Sao was, like, in his mind, he's like, all these things I could say to her, all these things, and then he's just like, oh, so it's you. He's like, damn it, that's all I could say. Damn it, I spent so much time thinking of this. Because that happens a lot, especially for me. It's like, I'll have all these kind of scenarios in my head. It's like, yes, this is brilliant. Yes, this is good stuff. And then when it comes out, it's just like blub 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 derp. And essentially, what I'm talking about is this like bizarre, surreal scenario. I mean, bear with me now, because I'll probably have the worst delivery ever. Because I'm more of an improviser than anything else. If I like actually come up with a joke or a kind of bizarre comedic scenario. If I'm actually speaking it on the spot, but I've actually come up with the general idea, I'm more likely to screw it up. If it's just like improvised on the spot, much easier. But essentially, any of you can relate to this. You know when you have a shower, does your mind ever kind of wander off into bizarre kind of directions? Like, one moment it could be like, yes, this debate with ourselves, the world, life, everything. And then it could be like, let's think all depressing thoughts, and then we'll chip it in with, oh wait, no, don't feel bad, don't feel down, kind of thing. And then there's the other side of it, where it's just like, let's come up with the most bizarre comedic scenarios ever. And that is essentially what happened to me just a few minutes ago when I was in the shower. It was just like, had this bizarre scenario. So picture this, the Serengeti. There's a pride of lions. And in front of them is hundreds, perhaps even thousands of buffalo. And the lions are like, well, their leader's like, we can take them. And like, one of them like chips in, just like, I don't know about this, boss. I mean, don't you think we should not do that? I mean, it seems pretty dangerous. And their boss is like, he's all like, what are you, a pussy or something? And he's just like, well, technically, ow! You should mind your own place in this damn pride. We are a proudful species. We can take on anyone. Let's go! And they charge at the buffalo and get their asses understandably kicked because they're just a pride of lions going up against like hundreds, thousands of buffalo. And so they come back, it's like, okay, strategy. They go back in, they still get their asses kicked. They're just like, damn it! How do we keep failing at this? And they're just like, the same lion that got smacked by the king, who's somehow still miraculously still alive after all that, he's just like, maybe we should think of making allies with another pride or maybe another species. And then he gets slapped again. He's like, shut up, you fool! We are too proudful for that. So the buffalo's just like, you know what to say, pride comes before a fall. He's like, oh, shut up, you damn buffalo, what do you know? The buffalo's all like, you know what they also say about overconfidence? It can also lead to great arrogance. It's like, I can take you on myself. Charges in, gets his ass kicked. And at the end of it all, he's like, to add to the surrealness of it, he's on a throne. He's got all bandages, a crutch, and things like that. He's just sat there. And that same line again is like, I told you so. And the Lion King is just like, smack him for me, will you, Paula? He's just like, what? Get smacked by one of the lionesses. And that is the scenario. And the delivery totally wasn't there, as I predicted, because it's much more like, the scenario is more kind of like, well, surreal and kind of just like comedic in my mind. But delivery is another thing, really, isn't it? That's what comedy is all about, the delivery, the timing. I suck at that when it's actually something I actually come up with in my mind. Because it's more like, if it's on the spot, like I tend to do with my commentary, it's much easier and flows much more naturally. But yeah, just thought I'd share that random bizarre scenario that I had in my head, because really, that is a really odd scenario. I mean, seriously, the mind really kind of wanders into bizarre scenarios sometimes, I gotta say. But let's actually get to what we're here for, Katawa Shoujo. It's just like, some people click on this pod and be like, what the fuck, man? I came to watch Katawa Shoujo, not freaking hear some crappy-ass comedian. Well, whatever. Now you're gonna listen to crappy voice acting instead. The assignment is also kind of long, so we should start now if we want to finish it before the end of class. That too! Oh, and before I forget, this is another kind of thing with me. Like I mentioned with, like, social anxiety and all that, and, like, crappy social skills in general. It's like, I was thinking of replying to a comment on the previous part, but I couldn't find the words, like, to like type them out, so I'll just kind of address the comment, you know, in this video. Essentially, comment is like, asks if I like prefer kind of doing these videos kind of solo, or do a like kind of collab kind of thing, where like have someone else. I've actually thought of that, but I've never actually done that, and the reason for it is mostly because it'd feel awkward for me, because I imagine if there was someone else on the commentary as well, I'd just kind of be like, yeah, I'll read in a monotone because I'm not used to this. Because that's when the anxiety would really start to show. So if I was actually used to someone else that would be joined in on the commentary, that would probably work out alright. Someone that I could still, you know, act like, well, like I usually do, is just like, yes, let's put on a bizarre kind of like voice acting for some of these characters instead of like monotone the whole time kind of thing, you know? Maybe you get the idea, but yeah, essentially that. So, continue with the plot. She's in and glares at the two of us impatiently. I don't need to know sign language to understand that. She just flipped me the bird. Okay, I get the message. Oh, speaking of sign language, my sister actually knows a bit of sign language, which is pretty random. I don't know why she learned sign language, but there we go, you know. I suppose you don't really need to have any big reason to learn something. After class, we can take a walk around the grounds together. It's a nice day today, okay? But you know, the whole collab idea, when I'm voice acting this character, it does sound tempting a bit. It's just like, this voice, my voice just does not suit this character. She's all bubbly and energetic. I can't do that with a female character voice. It's like, fair enough if it was a guy. It's like, yeah, Mr. Squash meets Echo the Dolphin voice. But even now it'd seem a bit too goofy, wouldn't it? The assignment is actually very challenging to get through, combining aspects of being both difficult and unnecessarily long. Also, I wouldn't really know how to actually go about, you know, a collab for a visual novel of all things. Because it'd be like, okay, we're taking time reading, you have your version of the novel up, and we like go at the same pace, and then it's just like, but what if like the game like plays in the background and it ends up being echoed? So many kind of scenarios that could happen. Still, we finished a few minutes earlier than anyone else in the class. Despite our late start, Shizune and Misha are really capable. I've been rambling this whole part to the point where I kind of forgot what they were even doing. They're quite different though. The class rep is as calm and professional as she looks, while Misha is a lot more playful and girlish, not to mention a little more easily distracted. Aren't we all? Well, I certainly am. I mean, I'm kind of randomly going off into bizarre scenarios, and then suddenly it just comes back to the plot. It's just like, well, that was random. To be honest, the two of them did most of the work. I feel guilty about that. Although I do have moments, you know, I do get moments where I actually do have, like, that kind of Shizune kind of thing, where it's like, okay, focus, 100% professional. But when I'm recording, usually not the case. The clock tower bells ring, signaling the end of the period. Time for lunch. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who is beckoning me into the hallway and down the stairs. You know, they always have a school bell, but what if they used a different instrument? Trying to think, like maybe a guitar, or like maybe like a piano melody randomly, or maybe like a violin. Actually, that kind of be. Can you imagine a violin playing like? Well, actually, no. Well, actually, if it's going to like be like when it's just like lunch break, I just imagine something really upbeat, kind of like the victory kind of music in the Zelda games kind of play. You're like, yes, class is over, we can have lunch. But anyways, I'm rambling again. Without knowing what else to do, I follow Misha, who's backed me into the hallway and down the stairs. We descend even below the lobby, where I met Muto, down to the bottom floor. Just like everything in the school, the cafeteria seems too spacious and oddly modern in contrast to the classic exterior. Spacious? Well, I suppose it would be, but with all the tables, it doesn't really look all that spacious to me as a result. You know, rambling again, but seriously, that's part of the reason why I don't tend to play my keyboard much at all. I'm not talking like in my videos, but in general, it's because my room has no space to put the damn thing, so, just like, yeah. I don't know what that really has to do with this, it's just the whole talk about it being spacious and all that. My room is just not spacious at all. There's like little room at all. Its big windows open to the courtyard towards the main gate. It's the cafeteria! You know, her hair looks like, well, some could say they look like drills, but they also look like other things. Tornadoes, hurricanes, and ice cream cones. Just me on the ice cream cones, because honestly, when I see this character, if this person was real, I'd be tempted to kind of uncurl the hair. I don't know why. It just seems like the type of hair where you just kind of go twirling out, twirl, I don't know. Like untwirl, twirl, untwirl, twirl, untwirl, twirl. I don't know. I'm surprised that there aren't like. Well, I suppose Shizune is not the type to be mischievous like that. It's just like, you can just totally imagine her having a friend that would totally do that. He's like, you'd be like, knock it off! But she's like a bubbly character, so she'd actually be the one doing that, really, wouldn't she? Rambling again, get on with it. Her enthusiastic statement of the obvious makes people around her stare, but Misha doesn't seem to care, so we proceed to the line. There's a rather long list of menu options, which seems great until I realize that many of them are to accommodate students who need special diets. Oh nice, it almost feels like I'm back at the hospital eating portions measured with scientific precision to meet the needs of the patients. I pick something at random and follow Shizune to a table sitting opposite of her. As I nibble indifferently at the food I'd rather not eat, Misha pokes me in the side to get my attention and points to Shizune. I know I'm kind of like rambling on a million times in this part already, but you know that sound that's playing there, you know, not the music, but you know the kind of mumble. Don't you just find that annoying when you're in awfully crowded places and all you can hear is that sound? It's like I can't even understand a word of it. It's like an alien language, only they're all speaking the same language. It's just impossible to decipher it because there's so many people talking at once. So unless you're really homing in on a specific conversation, you're not gonna have a clue. You know, it'd be funny if like you could actually decipher what the people are actually saying in the background, and you just like hear random things just like, so, you wanna have sex tonight? Or just like, hey, I ran over your cat or something. Just like, or I threw a tomato at the principal's pie. What? That's pretty surreal, isn't it? That's an example there, right there, of my mind just going into bizarre, surreal kind of stuff on the spot. But yeah, can you imagine that? You just like, you decipher these. Well, I don't think it's possible. I think it's probably They probably just deliberately just like deliberately kind of mumble and then like add more to it. And I don't know. I'm rambling again. I don't understand signs, so the point escapes me. Maybe looking at a person who talks to you is proper and polite. You want to know something? What? About anything, we're the guide, so you should ask if there's something. I wonder. Oh shit, I haven't got a walkthrough up, so I wonder. Wait. Ah yeah, I remember. If you ask about the library, that'll be like Hanako. This will obviously be like to do with Shizune, obviously. I'm not sure. Well, obviously it is, but I'm not sure if you actually click on that in a route, because I'm not sure if it's like get you bad points or good points with Shizune there. I think I got everything I need to know. I think. Although he totally hasn't, because he hasn't really had a tour at school at all. So a moment while I check the walkthrough. Yeah, I think I got everything I need to know. I can't think of anything really. No, but a lot of the choices, I don't think, like some of the choices the walkthrough lists are really relevant to the routes themselves. Like, for example, the first choice, I don't think it really makes a difference for the character. And the next choice that comes up, I think is also only relevant to Shizune's route, but it kind of lists it using the same thing. So I'll probably spice it up at some point in a different route, but I'll stick 100% to the walkthrough's choices for this route. Because, like, I don't know, we'll have to see it, we'll see every one of the scenarios throughout this LP, and whatever, just get on with it. Ooh, that means we're being good guys, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Yeah, if you say so. Monsieur positively beams, and so does Shizune after a quick translation. I shake my head at their somewhat exaggerated enthusiasm and shift my focus on the food. Monsieur and Shizune sign back and forth very animatedly, throwing sideways glances at me, but Monsieur refrains from translating. You know, again, I'm rambling a bit, but it also makes me wonder, if I did do a collab kind of thing, I'd probably ramble a lot less, because I'd imagine the other person would be like, hey, we're supposed to be reading this, right? We're kind of like getting way off subject a million times. Maybe they are talking about secret girl stuff or something. I quickly notice a conversation inside is not enough to fill the silence. Shall we talk in pentatonics? I don't know why I said that. Just like, imagine like actually speaking like in like music. Just like, okay, I will talk to you in a pentatonic scale. No, I will now talk to you in a harmonic minor scale. Something like that. I don't know. We arrived in the classroom early, but we're not the first. That dark-haired girl I noticed before is slumped over her desk at the last row. She jumps a little when Misha crashes into the room with the elegance of a rhino. Perhaps a buffalo as well. To kind of make the start of this recording seem relevant, which it totally wasn't. She shrinks deeper into her seat, and I can feel her attention all the way from here as if she were slowly turning into stone just from our presence. Misha and Shizune either don't notice or don't mind it, as they walk directly past her to their seats and begin to converse. I'm left wondering about her even when the classroom slowly fills with all students and finally, the teacher. Getting into the rhythm of the school feels strange. It's as if my brain remembers how this is done, but my body doesn't. Towards the end of the class, I start yawning and counting the minutes left. It's not usually what people tend to do. I shouldn't be this tired on my first day of school. Maybe it's a long time spent in the hospital that made me like this. I'm even feeling physically weak and lifeless. Before long, the final bell rings. School is finally over for the day. Besides me, Misha and Shizune are having a short conversation. After a bit of deliberation, Misha turns to me. Unfortunately, we can't stay and show you around today, Ichan. We've got to hurry already, since there's a lot of work for us to do. You'll find your way around here, I'm sure of it. Wait, the teacher said I'd have to see the nurse. Where do I have to go? So he's like, yeah, I think I don't really need to know anything. And suddenly he's like, oh wait, no, there was actually a location, but it wasn't in the choices. Is that so? We can at least show you that much. Come on, the nurses have their own buildings, so we have to go outside. We join the flow of students making their way down the stairwell and outside, with the girls pointing out all our senior classrooms in the same hallway as ours. When we get outside, the girls make their way to the smaller building right next to the school. It's built in the same style, so it looks like it's actually a part of the main building. This is the auxiliary building here. There's a lot of official and important stuff inside, like the Yamaku Foundation office and all the nurses' office. They even have a swimming pool. They even have better voice acting than you. How is that official? Don't be silly, Chan. It's for physical therapy, of course. Anyway, all the nursing staff facilities are in there too. The head nurse's office is on the first floor. You'll be fine from here, right? We'll be going then. See you tomorrow. Yep, thanks, bye. A whole building for stuff that has nothing to do with the actual education? I guess it's necessary for a place like this. I walk in hoping that this really will be only a quick visit like the teacher said. On a white door on the left is a green cross with the text head nurse and a nameplate. It's just me, or does this hallway have like a kind of ominous look to it? I mean, look at it. Well, maybe that's hospitals in a nutshell. It's just like, ominous. I don't know about this place, man. It's just like, this is the type of place you come to when you like feel like shit, where you actually need like, you know, like, I don't know, man. I don't know about this. But honestly, it actually kind of makes it look like it's like right out of a horror. Maybe that's because like a lot of horrors tend to like have this setting in a hospital, but this looks like an old kind of Victorian kind of thing, or no, maybe not Victorian, but kind of old look to it. And you just like, I just expect like a monster to come around the corner and just be like, ah! But I'm rambling again. On a white door, yeah, I already read that. A voice from the inside responds by a knock almost immediately, but I can't quite make it out. Sounded a bit like an invitation to open the door, so I invite myself further in. The room is not large and it smells strange. A friendly-looking man turns around on his office chair to face me as I enter. What is that? What is that anyway? Seriously. His desk is neat and tidy, but the bin under the table is overflowing with used medical utensils, and there are at least a dozen coffee cup things lingering on the desk. Hello there, what can I do for you today? You know, first things first about this character. For some reason, well, it's obvious. If you've seen Bleach, you probably see what I'm getting at, but he kind of reminds me of Gin from Bleach. It's the eyes, man, and the kind of smile on his face also feels like that as well. Can we trust this guy? He is young looking and sort of rugged, but the dimples in his cheeks wash that impression away when he smiles. Are you the nurse? He smiles like a person who has heard this very same question hundreds of times. Oh, yes I am. It says so on the door, no? You can call me by name or just a nurse like everyone else. So of course I shake off my confusion, realizing I probably should grab his extended hand. His handshake is rather firm and friendly. Right, I'm an 8th student and my homeroom teacher told me to come and meet you. My name is Sosao Nakash. His eyes light up with revelation and he snaps his fingers. That eye. Oh, you're that Nakai. I was just reading your file in the morning. Wait, what? Did he say that? Did I read that right? Yeah. Wait, what's the name of this track then? R-A-O-I-U. What? Some weird track names, isn't it? Some kind of chronic arrhythmia and related congenital heart muscle deficiency, right? That was really awkward voice who gestures me to sit down in a vacant armchair in front of his desk. Yes. Good, well you've probably been briefed about the school enough, so I'll just go over this quickly. We have all kinds of facilities available, mostly physical therapy and such. There's always someone from my staff around, even at night, so never hesitate to call us if there's a problem. The famous 24-hour nursing staff. Wow, this is like a hospital. Well, not exactly. For instance, we don't do brain surgery here. His jokes feel so out of place that I'm left thinking why he even said it. This pretty much sums up the beginning of this part, doesn't it? Just like, that joke you made with the whole lion buffalo thing felt out of place, and we were left thinking why you even told it. Yeah, just that it's really weird to have so many medical people at school. You'll get used to it. I'm not so sure of that myself, but I don't let the nurse know it. Now, let me just find your file again. While he searches for something from his computer and shuffles stacks of papers around, I let my gaze wander around the room. It's the optimum of generic, I'd like to say. Beige walls and ceiling, dark grey, laminated flooring, and all the equipment you'd expect from a school nurse's office. Even the ridiculous educational posters are hanging on all four walls, reminding me to eat properly 3 times a day and from all the food groups. Smiling, the nurse throws a thick file from a stack of similarly thick files and opens it. So, you already have medication for the arrhythmia. Just remember to take your pills every morning and evening, or it won't be much help. Apart from that, do you do any sports? Rash stuff like, I don't know, boxing? He grins to his own joke, but I don't. Well, I played soccer occasionally with some classmates. Alright, I'm afraid I'm going to have to recommend you refrain from doing that, at least for the time being. Oh. My lack of reaction makes him raise an eyebrow, but really, I'm not too bothered by him forbidding me to kick a ball around. I guess I never did it out of burning passion for the sport, just to have something to do. Any kind of concussion might be very dangerous to your heart, and risking another attack is not a good idea. With the previous one caused by a sudden concussion to the chest area, there is no mention of the cause in your papers. Not exactly. I sidestepped the question acceptably, and he glanced at me over his papers with a more serious expression on his face. Still, you need to keep your body healthy, so some exercise will do you good. We have physical therapy and such available, as I said, but I don't think you really need such heavy measures. Just get some light exercise regularly. Brisk walks or even light jogging, jumping ropes, that sort of thing. Swimming, maybe there's a pool here. So I was told. You were, very good. At any rate, and I'm sure you've been told this before, you just need to take care not to overexert yourself. He wags his finger to emphasize the point. No need, really. Well, I've heard this 1,000 times already. Absolutely no unnecessary risk. Take care of yourself. Okay. He goes over my papers one more time and sets them on the desk, obviously content. Good, that's it then. Come meet me if you need something. I must share it out before I even realize it. A quick visit indeed. I end up standing in front of the main building and the auxiliary building. I wonder if I'm even pronouncing that right. Again, back to the collab thing. That would totally be like that. I can totally imagine that scenario where I'll just be like, is this the correct pronunciation here? Although to my eyes, they still look one and the same. It's the first real look I got at the other students, so I watch people coming out of the school going towards the gate or the dorms. Everyone seems to know where they are going. And I still keep thinking that most of them don't look too special for being students at a special school. But then again, how do I? Does that make me one of them? One of us? I should go somewhere too to prevent me from getting lost. It's around dinner time, but I feel tired instead of hungry. Awareness in me only grows as I trudge towards the dorms, set a little way apart from the main building complex. There is a garden of sorts between the school and the dorms, shrubbery, flowers, and that overbearing smell of fresh-cut grass that fills the atmosphere. It dawns on my tired mind that the smell feels novel because I haven't been outside at all for so long. The dorm building is big and made of red brick like the others. It feels way too pompous for what it is, so I push forward going inside. No comment on the moral thing. It takes more time than necessary to fish out the key I was given from my pocket. Room 119. Despite the ornate exterior, the inside of the dorm is fairly new, functional, and boring. It is pretty bland looking, isn't it? I mean, it still looks like a hospital here, doesn't it? You know, for all I know, maybe it is. Maybe they just Okay, let's go to a hospital in Japan, take a bunch of pictures, and like kind of edit them and put them in our visual novel. I don't know. Just like in the main building, the halls and doors are wide to accommodate wheelchairs. The same goes for the elevators at the ends of the hallways. I put my head around the corner of the common room door. Inside, a few students are watching the television. Well, same thing, just whatever. One nods and gives a quick hello before turning back to the TV. Seems only the girls around here are sociable. I suppose that's perfectly fine with me. I climb the stairs to the upper floor. Just like, well, of course, they're the only sociable ones here. We're not gonna add in male characters. Well, there is one, and I'm pretty sure we'll be meeting him soon. Here, small corridors branch off from the main building, the hallway. Each of these minor halls seems to have a toilet and shower, as well as 4 rooms. About halfway down the hall, I spy room 119. The nameplates on the rooms, that isn't mine or blank. I guess there are just 2 of us here. Light shines from below the door of room 117, so I knock lightly. Hello, is anyone home? From inside I hear a few movements, then the clicking of way more locks than I thought these doors had. After a moment the door squeaks open. A bespectacled boy is standing in the doorway with monkey music. He is looking at me very intently through his extremely thick eyeglasses. Who is it? Blind? No, at least not completely. Why would he have eyeglasses if he was? He leans close to me until our noses are almost touching. His breath stinks of garlic. Is he paranoid about vampires? I can't pronounce my own name. Nakai. I'm moving into the next room. I thought I should introduce His face suddenly brightens in realization, and he stands back upright, thrusting his hand out in a smiling greeting, almost straight to my... I forget the pronunciation of that word. It's not a word that I tend to use a lot, is it? Oh, sup, dude, the name's Kenji. Hi. I take in Kenji's sweaty hand and shake it, still a little rattled by the sudden change of attitude and vehement welcome. There were some suspicious-looking people going in and out of your room earlier. It was probably my parents. Your parents? You sure? Because it could have been some other people too. You can't judge a book by its cover. His out-of-place proverb is left hanging between us awkwardly as I try to think of some way to respond. I'd say the chances are high enough. He shudders and makes some exaggerated hand gestures. You're a brave man, Sal. Me, I don't think I could trust the chances. The only one I trust is myself. Does that mean I shouldn't get to know you either? He thinks about this for a while. A wise decision. Damn, you are smarter than you look. Probably. What do you look like? I hope not smart. What do you... Yeah, he said that. Really? He squints his eyes and leans closer again, but I lean backwards to dodge it. Never mind, doesn't matter. With that, he turns, fumbles around for a moment in search of the door handle, and shuts the door behind him. I slide the key into the lock of the door marked 119. Bleak beige walls, white linen, a desk made of some type of light wood, ugly curtains. It's no one's room, impersonal like my hospital room was. My bags are sitting at the foot of my bed, looking a lot emptier than they did this morning. Now, can you imagine feeling sick and being in a room like this? So you're just like, the color, get some life in here. The closet is sitting open, stocked with my clothes. Also, it seems that there are a number of school uniforms hanging there as well. A note is pinned to the sleeve of one of the shirts. Hi, Hee-chan, we've unpacked your things and made your bed. They said that if they don't fit, then you should go to the office tomorrow. If you have any problems, you can always call us. Love, Mom and Dad. They call him Hee-chan as well? I thought that was going to be like, make it reveal that it was actually Misha and Shizune that came to his room. Then that would make the whole suspicious comment seem more relevant then, wouldn't it? Just like, yeah, they look suspicious. Well, at least I don't have to worry about unpacking. I kinda hoped I would have, then there would be something to do. Still too early. I put the note down on the desktop and lie down on the bed feeling drained. Lying there makes me want to read something, but I have nothing with me. I wonder if the hospital conditioned me for wanting to read whenever I have nothing to do. The restless urge just keeps growing until I have to stand up. Maybe it's stress or something. I was pretty nervous about it before coming, and for the entire day too, I still am, I think. Damn, I have to distract myself somehow so I won't feel this unnatural all the time. Tomorrow I'll go borrow some books from the library. Yeah, I'll do that. But for now, the bottles of medications neatly arranged on my night table catch my eye. I pick up one and shake it just to hear the contents rattle inside, and then read the glued-on pharmacy label. The sound of kind 2 tablets daily to stay alive. Wow. It doesn't really say that, but it could just as well. Okay, so it didn't. It's kind of twisted having your life depend on chemicals like this. I resent it a little, but what choice do I have? So I begin my new daily ritual of taking the right number of pills from each bottle, being careful to check the correct dosages. I lie down again, feeling hollow and uncertain, and after that I keep staring at the blank, unfamiliar ceiling for a long time. It doesn't start looking any more familiar, not even after darkness falls and long shadows draw across my room like fingers. The sheets feel slightly more comfortable, warm and nest-like against the chill that passes for room temperature here. Soon the lighter shade of darkness that is the ceiling looks like every ceiling does at night, and it becomes the only thing I recognize anymore. The night beckons me to sleep, and I feel the coldness of unfamiliarity and fear creeping up my spine once again. I keep drifting further away from the world I knew. The transition theme.